Good morning, everybody. For the ladybugs at the school, we've been talking about spring all week and all the special things that happen in springtime. And I just wanted to do a little bit of a spring review with you and also read you a wonderful book about flowers. So when it is spring in the Northern Hemisphere, it is fall in parts of the Southern Hemisphere. Now, if you remember, on the day that I talked about the vernal equinox with you, the first day of spring, I had my little tangerine with me that showed the Earth and how this was the North Pole and this was the South Pole, and this line that goes around the cutie goes around the Earth. It's an imaginary line called the equator. And this part of the Earth is called the Northern Hemisphere, and this part is called the Southern Hemisphere. And we live in the Northern Hemisphere. And say Australia is in the Southern Hemisphere. So right now it's fall in Australia, which is the season that we generally celebrate, Halloween and Thanksgiving. But for us up here, it's springtime, and that means that the Earth is starting to turn on its axis. Remember, I said it starts to tilt this way, and we are facing towards the sun up here, which means that our days are getting longer. That's what happens in the springtime. Our days get longer and longer and longer until we hit the first day of summer, which is the longest day of the year. So right now, each day, we have a little bit more sunlight. Other things that happen in the springtime is lots of baby animals are being born, baby birds are being born, animals that generally hibernate, such as bears, are coming out of hibernation. We start getting more rain. Generally in April, we should get a lot of rain. And in May, the flowers start to bloom. And we've been talking a lot about flowers this week. Everyone likes to have flowers as a decoration in their house, or they like to have them growing in their gardens, in their front yards. But did you know that you probably eat flowers all the time? Did you know that broccoli is a flower? And so is cauliflower. And so are artichokes. Do any of you eat those things? I know a lot of my friends especially like to eat broccoli. So that is a flower. Also, there are some regular flowers that you can eat. You can eat nasturtium, you can eat marigolds, rose petals, pansies, chamomile, squash blossoms. So eat a flower, but make sure that it's an edible flower before you eat it. Don't just go pick any flowers randomly and eat them. That's never a good idea because some flowers could make you sick. So make sure it's an edible flower before you put it in your mouth and eat it, okay? Broccoli is definitely an edible flower for you. This is the book that I'm going to read today, the Flower Alphabet book. It is written by byJerry Pallotta, and it's illustrated by Leslie Evans, and it has beautiful illustrations. I'll read you the book, and as I read you the book, I'll show you the pictures. A is for amaryllis. An amaryllis is an excellent flower to give to someone as a gift. It starts out as a bulb and grows to become a beautiful trumpet-shaped flower. You can see the letter A down here at the bottom. B is for buttercup. Buttercups have petals that are yellow and shiny. People say if you put one under your chin and it reflects yellow light onto your skin, it means you like to eat butter. C is for crocus. The crocus is often the first flower of spring. It is common for a crocus to get caught in a late snowfall or even a blizzard. D is for daffodil. Some consider the daffodil to be the flower of hope. Once daffodils are blooming, everyone hopes that the cold weather and winter are long gone. E is for edelweiss. The edelweiss is a fuzzy white mountain flower. It's a wonderful sight to come upon after a hike through rugged mountains. Someone once wrote a song about the edelweiss. And it's in a very famous movie called The Sound of Music. So if my friend Fiona from the Panda Bear class is listening, Fiona knows that song very well, I think. F is for fruit trees. Fruit trees are special. They blossom in the springtime, and later in the year, they bear delicious fruit. Some apple trees and cherry blossoms, orange blossoms there. Other trees blossom, but the fruit they bear is not usually eaten by people. Let's not forget to get back to the alphabet. F is for forget-me-not. Do you think the forget-me-not has a funny name? Whoever named this flower must have forgotten what to call it. G is for gladiolas. Gardeners find that these flowers are easy to grow. Bees must love them because they have so many flowers close together on one stem. H is for hollyhock. Young children in the olden days liked to make dolls with hollyhocks. The buds would be used for heads, and the petals would be turned upside down to make little dresses. I is for iris. Iris is the name of this flower. Iris is also a girl's name. Rose, heather, lily, violet, and daisy are flowers that are also girls' names. J is for jasmine. A properly planted jasmine can be a lovely hanging plant. Jasmine is used to flavor tea. It's also used to make perfume. I have some growing right in my front yard. Lots of it. K is for kangaroo paw. These flowers resemble the hands of kangaroos. Some other flowers with silly names are lion's ear, goat's beard, elephant's head, and pig squeak. I wonder what a pig squeak looks like. We'll have to look that up. L is for lilac. Lilacs grow on bushes. They have a wonderful scent, but some people do not like them because lilacs make them sneeze. Some other flowers also make people sneeze. M is for marigold. Believe it or not, chicken farmers feed marigolds to their chickens so that the chickens will have healthy-looking yellow skin. And that's one of those flowers that I mentioned earlier that you can eat. You can eat marigolds. And obviously so can chicken. N is for nasturtium. These flowers and their leaves can be eaten. People like to put them in salads, and some like to mix them in butter. O is for orchid. Orchids are flowers that can be worn on a dress or pinned on a lapel. They are perfect for weddings and other formal occasions because they last a long time after they've been cut. And you've probably seen lots of orchids. P is for pansy. Pansies are dainty, delicate flowers. When in bloom, they look like cute little faces. Pansies look nice in window boxes. I love pansies. I always like to plant them in the spring. Put them in my garden. They're so colorful. Q is for Queen Anne's lace. This flowering weed is shaped like a fancy white lace. It is a wild carrot, but you should probably not eat it. R is for rose. Roses smell great and look great. Watch out, though. Roses have terrible thorns. Be careful when you pick them. S is for sunflower. Sunflowers can grow taller than even the tallest men and women. Their seeds can be eaten by people. Birds, squirrels, and other animals also love to eat them. Have you ever eaten sunflower seeds? Also, you can get sunflower butter, which is a substitute for peanut butter, and it's just delicious. T is for tulip. Tulips come in all different colors. Sometimes looking at a field of tulips is like looking at a rainbow. U is for unicorn root. There are not many pretty flowers that begin with the letter U. The unicorn root probably got its name from the mythical unicorn horn. V is for violet. Violets do not necessarily have to be violet in color. Some violets are yellow, white, blue, or red. W is for water lily. If you were a frog, the water lily would be your favorite flower. Water lilies grow in the water. Oh, there goes Odin walking by. X is for xeranthemum. Xeranthemum is almost as hard to say as chrysanthemum. These flowers keep most of their colors when they are dried. Y is for yucca. There are different kinds of yuccas. The yucca on this page can be found in the desert. They are visited by a special insect, the yucca moth. And you can see a picture of the moth right there at the top where my fingers are. I'm going to hold it back there. Z is for zinnia. A garden looks really pretty when it has zillions of zinnias in it. Uh-oh, here come some bees looking for these flowers. The end. That's a really good reason to have flowers in your garden too, because we want some place for the bees to come and pollinate them. All right, well, I hope you had fun listening to this book about different kinds of flowers, and I hope that you saw some flowers that you really liked, maybe some that you could, when you're able to, go to the garden store and pick out and plant in your own gardens outside and spread a little beauty and good cheer. Well, I hope you're having a great day, and I miss all of you a whole bunch. Okay, see you later. Mwah. Bye-bye.